Hi, Valerie here with another Mystic Musing. I have a question for you. Are you a mystic? Today, we often picture the mystic as maybe a yogi meditating on a mountaintop, or a Sufi whirling dervish, or perhaps a Nawadi drumming somewhere in the Arctic wilderness. Or maybe you imagine the famous mystics like Rumi or Hildegard von Bingen, or maybe someone more contemporary like Helena Blavatsky or George Gurdjieff. What they and so many others had in common are that they were all ordinary people. Another question. So what is a mystic? This answer can depend on who you ask. So the answer depends on that individual's belief system or religion. So all dogma aside, and see my first video about dogma, a mystic is a truth seeker, someone dedicated, driven even, to making direct contact with the divine. Mystics seek direct experience of the sacred. We want unmediated experience. Achieving that requires transcending the everyday and the ordinary. It requires breaking down the barriers established by beliefs, to include those barriers created by your own family, your friends, and the society around you. It requires identifying and eradicating ego self, which means letting go of who you think you are to discover who you truly are. Being a mystic is simply being. Here on the Mystic Way, I don't want to get caught up in labels like a Satru or witch or Seidr the bearer or shaman, though all of these will be discussed and examined. I want to go straight to the source, like an arrow that finds the bullseye. I want direct oneness, and I imagine you do as well. What does a mystic do? Well, anything, everything. What I do, me personally, is I allow myself to be who I am. I cultivate Hoyer-Mut, my own high mind. And I do that through sitting out or meditation. In fact, meditation is foundational to being a mystic, to simply be still and know. In stillness is found sacrality. Writing, singing, creating art, playing a musical instrument, these are all some ways to invite the sacred into your daily life. In the flow that is creation, in all its manifestations, the heart space and mysticism opens and expands. Even reading the work of a mystic, or listening to their music, or gazing upon their art may be enough to bring you to an opening, to the precipice of transcendence. When a mystic creates, this is an outpouring of their mystical experience. So it becomes an invitation for anyone else to enter that heart space. What cannot be described is ineffable, and that is the playground of all mystics. So a mystic seeks a deeper connection, and from there, an established relationship. Modern mystics walk among us today. Some you will find on YouTube and some on Facebook. So who can be a mystic? A mystic is simply one who has moved from thought through belief to seeking to yearning to living reality. There exists layers upon layers of maturity that transcend age or vocation, so that a mystic could be a bus driver, a school teacher, a fitness instructor, or a dental hygienist. Mystics are ordinary people doing ordinary things who simply seek out profound moments of stillness in the midst of a very chaotic world. In my study of mystics, I have noticed a common thread, and that is an affinity for and a care for nature. Mother Nature is more than a romantic notion. She is our mother. She is a living relation, a full embodiment of all that lives. A surefire way to get rid of ego self is to go to the woods. There, one will become one with the one. How would you like to travel to another time or place? Or how about travel into the past to correct a mistake that you made? The world of other, the other worlds, is intimately bound to where you are now. It is not found through a linear dogmatic mind, but it is within reach, closer than you may think. I can hear some of you guys right now. Is this a historical practice? Is it an authentic practice? When it works, yes, absolutely. Nothing is static. All things are ever growing and ever evolving. Tradition and culture are living entities which give structure to human existence. As such, without growth, they too will stagnate and wither. So while the academics amongst us can debate on the legitimacy or existence of old European Seidr or some shamanic praxis, it remains clear that certain aspects of pre-Christian Europe were quite shamanic. This idea is coupled with historic fact that those early inhabitants engaged with the Sami Noad, heavily suggesting a cultural and traditional exchange. As UPG or eclectic as mysticism may sound on the surface, in truth, it has a very prominent structure, one that facilitates transcendence or freedom. As I detail in my book, Vorntreife, Ancient Healing Touch, there exists a 5-part healing methodology found in the lore. This is certainly a not do your own thing approach to healing, and it's far from vague or made up, but it is an actual structure from which freedom is born from our legacy. In conclusion, in a world of modernity, bombarded with news and radio and podcasts, some of us are deliberately turning inside out. And that is an attested mystical practice from the lore. Until next time, please subscribe to my YouTube channel and give me a like. Also, support me, please, on Patreon to continue joining me on this journey of mysticism. And until next time, as always, stay happy, stay healthy, and stay whole.